The Mandalorian, Chapter 24, The Return, or as I like to call it, the Epilogue. I'm Candler, with me is Brian, and this is Grab, the Remote, Mandosodes.
Warning, major spoilers.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Candler. How are you?
I'm wonderful. This is the way.
Yes, it is. Peace be with you.
Peace be with you, brother. Final episode. Would you agree it was a very long epilogue?
Yes, it was. Oh, I love your glasses. That's good. I forgot about your glasses. Yeah, I will say first and foremost, you say your thing, I say mine. Candler, maybe have chatted today, but we didn't talk about this episode. Spoilers abound, and we haven't collaborated at all on what we're going to talk about. For me, I would say that this episode was a good episode. As you know, I'm all in, so I'm a little bit biased. But in general, season 3, I feel like there were some wasted opportunities, and that leads to a rushed last episode. So I feel like there was good moments in this, but ultimately the rush was on. If we had not done a lot of filler side episodes, in retrospect, then we might have had a more satisfying season.
Yeah, I've got some stuff I want to talk about as far as the season as a whole, but as far as this episode in particular, I felt like there was two things that were missing, or at least I would have done it differently. Is another way you can put it, was something at the end of the epilogue. That was a good. Once the good guys won, there was a good 10 minutes of just stuff happening, which was satisfying in a way, but I just felt like, and plus the episode is called The Return. I understand that it's the return of Mandalore, but I'm still thinking, okay, what's about to happen? So I felt like there should have been a nugget at the end, maybe a new baddie, maybe Thrawn, something. Another thing, I think this episode would have been a really good opportunity to have another Grogu flashback, bring back Ahmad Best's character, and sort of tie in what happened with that episode and then see how that affects them in the present.
You thought a lot about this. I like that.
I have.
Very good. I was just gonna listen. That all sounds delightful. Maybe we'll get to that. So you're talking about what I think we're in agreement. There's some missed opportunities as what if I could have done it, or but ultimately I think what we're looking for is continuity of form, I guess. So you have these episodes that seem like, in some people's minds, wastes of time, or this kind of filler that takes a little longer. And then you kind of have these last 2 episodes that are in some ways gangbusters.
Busters.
Well, you said baddies earlier. You said, Admiral Thrawn, a new baddie.
A new baddie, a new villain.
But I will say this, despite all that, there's some great visuals. Axe wolves, he's missing an L. He needs to be wolves. Axe flying through the rain with like kind of the axe cam with, whatever that looks like. Excellent. I loved all that going up. He pulled a real hero move by doing that.
Completely. And then his ship's going down through the clouds, and then Moff Gideon's ship's going up seconds later or split second later. That was awesome. Everything prior to the epilogue, I thought was pretty darn epic. And I just loved all the sequences there. It was just the epilogue where I was, where are you on that?
Well, it also seemed like that the show is going to be, you could basically call it a real conclusion. I guess we can get to the real conclusion. I also would say that besides this feeling rushed, we also don't have what we assumed that there would be a spy or spies revealed. So nothing like that ever took place. So there's a few. The only real things I had a problem with is that just the overall rushed feeling. There's no spies revealed or spy revealed, and the like inexplicably Grogu uh, saves Din right at the very first. He was obviously behind the big blast door that everybody was behind. So I would have liked to have seen how Grogu with IG-12 gets through that and did not go with the other Mandalorians, because that seems like a bit of a continuity error, and I would like to have seen that. So I'm a bit nitpicky. No, 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 no. That comes
Yes,
in.
yes,
That comes in, of course.
yes.
Did you ever feel nervous for Grogu in this episode? Were you worried about the puppet?
Um, at first I'm like, oh, he's got this, and then it looked like he was struggling. So then I started worrying a little bit. But
Right. You're not gonna kill the cash cow, but
exactly. But
some of the fight sequences were pretty good. I mean, there was
incredible, awesome. I mean, Bo-Katan flying through the air with the dark saber and all of them coming. It was just really, really cool. I mean, again, everything up until the epilogue, and even the epilogue was fine. And maybe you thought this when he says, "I'm going to adopt Grogu as my son." My thought was, "Wait, didn't we already do this? Didn't he?" Because I've already thought of him as his son, so it wasn't.
You got to do the paperwork, Chandler.
You got to do the paperwork, exactly.
Paperwork.
It was a funny discussion though for him to have with the armor. It's like, I'd like to adopt him. I'd like him to do the ways of the Mandalore. Well, his parents aren't here; they're probably dead. You know, like right in front of Grogu. You think Din Djarin was like, could you not say that right in front of him? But there was none of that.
The armorer really got some fighting sequences going.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I liked. There was a lot of good things. I did think Axe was the traitor when he flew to the
I did too.
Destroyer, and because the guy, the other Mandalorian was kind of giving him a look. I thought R5D4 had some fun. There was some fun with R5D4. His noises, his personality and his noises have really come through. So I loved every noise R5 made me laugh. And then of course you have the mouse droid gag.
Awesome. The police sirens, excellent.
There was the reveal, of course, of the Moff Gideon clones. Dramatic pause. Oh, by the way, I'm also making a drinking game out of you saying the word epilogue. Those are the two things. Every time you say epilogue, I have to take a shot. You've said it a lot. I like it. Keep saying it. Before the epilogue.
Okay. Before the epilogue, I thought the idea was cool. I have mixed feelings about his monologuing, but I mean, he's such a great actor that you want him to monologue. But at the same time, it would have been, because correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't. He explained he was cloning himself, and then we saw a clone of him in the tank open his eyes. Right? Am I right? Am I getting the order right?
I think. Well, no, I think you're maybe not. I mean, we need to watch this thing 4 times before we do our show. I think we definitely see them, and then that is a trope. If we want to talk about some tropes, you obviously knew that the eyes were going to be.
Oh yeah.
So that's a trope in horror films in a lot of ways, right? That's kind of in Aliens, when they got the people hung up waiting to be, the face hugger get inside of them, or actually, I'm sorry, to get hatched, their eyes open. But I'm glad we got that, because that's actually a good idea. But again, like, it's weird. It's kind of like Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. You have a bunch of yourselves walking around. How would you feel having 12 Candlers?
I would hate it.
And you're like, oh, it'd be horrible. It'd be horrible. I would hate having any more of me. I'm already annoyed with myself enough I need to have 12 more of me walking around.
And then would those clones have his memories?
Yeah, it gets into who knows what ifs, but they would have been force sensitive and all types of. He said some interesting things that I tried to write down. He also said Beskar alloy. The way he said that,
he's great. He's great
to wield the force.
He's great. I know we don't have phone books anymore, but I mean, I could listen to him read the phone book. He's awesome. He is awesome.
Now is he exploded into a ball of flames? As we know, everybody is kind of the rule of Darth Maul, or somehow Emperor Palpatine, like that stupid thing. you don't want Moff Gideon to be gone, but it's certainly he was engulfed in flames forever. If Darth
I want him
Maul,
gone. I think I do want him gone. I don't think he is, but I think I do want him gone. I think
well,
he's
if
been
Darth
in,
Maul can fall down a pit,
yeah,
bisected, and then be resurrected. That
yeah.
rhymes. Bisected, resurrected.
Bisected, resurrected. Yeah.
Mandalorians are weak once they lose their trinkets. That's another.
That was a great line.
And I'm a big fan of the word trinkets because, as you know from previous talks through the decades, I love the show Dallas, the
Who
original.
doesn't?
Well, a lot of people don't know about it or don't care, but Dallas is wonderful for many reasons. But J.R. Ewing makes it wonderful, and he once my wife and I like binge watched all of the Dallas seasons one summer. It was
Awesome.
what a fabulous summer. Anyway, one of his lines to Sue Ellen was like, "Why don't you go out and buy?" And I can't do a JR accent, but why don't you go out and buy your little trinkets? We always love that line because it's so demeaning to her. But trinkets is a good word. I would say I wish they hadn't destroyed that base, and then they didn't destroy the base. But you're thinking they did all this work on this stranglehold, this stronghold they have. Like that to me would be perfect for the Mandalorian. So for Axe to like do a nosedive into the pit, well, I think it's kind of saved for the most part.
Kind of.
And of course, Grogu does what Grogu does best. He really got into the action too, doing a little.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Poor little guy.
Yeah. Everything before the epilogue, I think, was pretty close to perfect. I loved it.
Well, I will say the noises between Grogu's noises and R5's noises.
Yes.
Just adorable.
Oh, yeah. Completely. R5 is the droid. So IG-11's back. So that thing is finally, he's back now. Okay, let's have him in an episode or two next season.
He's a
fine.
sheriff. Yeah,
I'm fine.
The IG-12 Grogu car, we barely knew you, but
Was it worth the entire season arc? No, it was not. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that. And by the way, I got two words for you. I rewatched the IG-11 episode, season one, the season one finale today.
The best.
IG-11 is dead. I mean, you see like.
Oh yeah. He was in molten magma. Liquid magma. Yes. Yeah, that's too bad. That's some retcon, I would say. So did you see the Dave Filoni sighting in the Hangar Bay bar?
I didn't.
Dave Filoni on the left with his cowboy hat. Go back. I think that's Dave Filoni and the signature cowboy hat. There's also I never mentioned this character, but it's obviously from the original Star Wars in the Cantina, the Snaggletooth. It's the Snaggletooth with a wig on. They're like hair, like beautiful curly hair, which I thought was pretty ridiculous.
Yes. Here's a question for you. And this might be the dumbest question I've asked in any one of our episodes. So here it comes.
There's no way.
The Dark Troopers, the new Dark Troopers in the Beskar outfit, are they robots or are they humans or what are they?
They're not robots. They're definitely not robots. They are humans in suits. No robot.
Did we ever see the helmet off?
No, we didn't. But I would say that the Dark Trooper robots that Luke Skywalker dispatches it's obvious that it's a robot.
Right.
And so to me, it's like they want to differentiate. That's just the way I feel. Like I never once thought, is that a robot? I always thought that's a human.
Yes. They look great though.
You like the white and gray? They look.
Yeah, they look cool.
Like they belong on Cloud City. They're so beautiful. Cloud City always everybody there has like a peach something, some sort of line of peach. The Cloud Car pilots. It's beautiful orange and peach. I love
line of peach.
Anything Bespin in Cloud City is white, beautiful white apricot peach. Anyway,
so what did Brian think of the epilogue?
I finished my coffee black.
Oh, sorry.
The light. I mean, listen. At some point you realize the action's over, and what we have is like a great reset. No matter what happens, we have to wait on Ahsoka, I guess, and a few other things to take shape. So for me, and I love the little zoom in on the whole. I
It was
know
fun. That was fun.
I just was too lazy to look up to see what. That's a nice homage to any number of things. So yeah, the epilogue was fine. It gives us a way for Mando to rest, for Din Grogu, the now Din Grogu to rest and enjoy, and it gives us time to reset for the next adventures. So it's set up for him to be doing bounty hunter work still, and I think we're looking at a season 4. Maybe some of the notes are duly noted. I will say that this, you can see how things have fallen off with viewership. So this was not a well-received season like maybe 1 and 2 were. I mean, you had the big thing, of course, is the Luke Skywalker appearances that really beefed up excitement. It was the ultimate fan service in a lot of ways, that worked for the most part. And so now we're onward and upward to season 4. I'm still a fan. We're Star Wars fans, so we want to like Star Wars. I think that's
Totally.
the main thing. I wouldn't call either of us haters, but I will push back on things of, that if things are bad, it's a bummer, because you're in, and again, it sounds so ridiculous, but this is the state of fandom. You really do. People do invest in this. So you're hoping for a good product, and there's some good stuff out there. It's just some of it's still a little uneven, but I think overall they redeemed themselves with the last 2 episodes, even though I think we weren't harsh on any episode this entire season. We were both like, it's almost after the fact we go like, wasn't that a weird Jack Black episode? The Scooby-Doo episode. I will say this. I know we're winding down, and I get that. Bo-Katan, people were saying, this is going to be Bo-Katan's episode, or is she going to become the Mandalorian? And we don't care either way, because she's a good character. But I like that she barely said a word to Moff Gideon when she was fighting. I mean, he was talking, and she was like just doing this, this tribal scream, which I thought was great. Like, she did not. I mean, she engaged a little bit with the dialogue, but I love that choice of the no talking, all business. I thought that was enjoyable. This is an episode I want to watch again, because I did. And again, you can see a lot of the things, like they're fans. Just even R5 putting down his the little thing to go, that's R2D2 A New Hope all day, right? It's almost like it feels like it's the same scene. So they know what they're doing when it comes to doing the things that fans love. I hope they continue to do that. I hope the direction stays good and positive. And again, it's all about story. Really, it is all about the story arc. So we'll see where it takes us. But if we hadn't, I wish it was not as rushed.
2 things on Bo-Katan. When I watched the previously on at the beginning of the episode, it's all Moff Gideon and all Bo-Katan. And I thought to myself, wow, I get what people are saying. This really does kind of seem like a Bo-Katan show. Second thing, I've been talking about will there, won't they, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. After this episode, I'm now in I don't think it's going to happen.
Good.
Again, I never said I wanted it to happen. I just felt like, is something going on? Are they about to Mando each other? I don't know. But
that's good. I like that there's no romance. That makes me puke. The romance part. We've had enough. I mean, again, what do you want? You want Han and Leia, or do you want Anakin and Padme on Naboo? Well, that's some great chemistry they had.
Good point, brother. Good point. All right. Well, I'm Candler.
I'm Brian.
And this has been Grab the Remote. Like, share, and subscribe. Coming up next, we got a special guest. His name is Brad, and he is a Kathleen Kennedy defender. So it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say. It's going to be awesome. Check us out. See you soon. Thanks.
Goodbye.